1932, South African farmers discover something impossible on a sacred hilltop. Buried beneath centuries of soil, gold, jewelry, trade goods from China and India, evidence of a sophisticated African kingdom that existed 800 years ago. But there's a problem. It's 1932, Apartheid South Africa, and the government can't allow proof that black Africans built advanced civilizations. So they buried the truth until now. Welcome back to Sky Chief Zim. If you think African civilizations only existed in Egypt or West Africa, they lied to you. Today, the Kingdom of Mapungubwe, Southern Africa's first kingdom, a gold trading empire that connected Africa to Asia 800 years before Europeans arrived. This is the story they tried to erase. Hit subscribe because this one's different. Picture this, the Limpopo River Valley, the modern-day South Africa and Zimbabwe border, 900 AD to 1300 AD. While Europe was in the Dark Ages and African kingdom was thriving, Mapungubwe, they lived on top of a sacred sandstone hill, the king's palace at the summit. Commoners below, they mined gold, traded with India, China, and Arabia, crafted jewelry so intricate that modern jewelers study its techniques. They had social hierarchies, political systems, international trade networks. Then, around 1300 AD, they vanished. Climate change, migration, no one knows for sure. Fast forward to 1932, a farmer hears rumors of gold on a sacred hill. He climbs it and finds the golden Rhino of Mapungubwe. The Kingdom of Mapungubwe existed from around 900 to 1300 AD. That's 400 years of power, longer than the United States has existed. They were the first kingdom in Southern Africa, the predecessor to Great Zimbabwe, the foundation of Bantu civilization in the region. At its peak, 5,000 people lived in and around Mapungubwe. That might not sound huge, but for 1000 AD in Southern Africa, that's a major urban center. They controlled trade routes, gold from local mines, ivory from elephants, cattle, all traded north to Swahili coast ports, then shipped to India, China, Persia. Archaeologists have found Chinese ceramics, Persian glass beads, Indian Ocean cowrie shells, Arabian glass, Southeast Asian cloth. In Southern Africa, in 1200 AD, Mapungubwe was global. Now let's talk about the artifact that changed everything. The golden Rhino of Mapungubwe, found in a royal grave in 1932. It's about 15 centimeters long, made of pure gold foil, wrapped around a wooden core. Why a rhino? Because rhinos symbolize power and wealth in Southern African cultures. But here's what's insane, the craftsmanship. The gold is paper thin, perfectly shaped, every detail, eyes, horns, legs, meticulously crafted. This wasn't crude metalwork. This was master-level artistry. When archaeologists found it, they also found gold bowls, gold jewelry, thousands of gold beads, ivory carvings, elaborate ceramics. This was a wealthy, sophisticated civilization. But we're in 1932, Apartheid South Africa. The government has a problem. Apartheid ideology was built on one lie. Black Africans were primitive and incapable of civilization. That justified segregation, oppression, and colonization. But Mapungubwe proved the opposite. Black Africans had built kingdoms, traded globally, created sophisticated art, centuries before Europeans arrived. So what did the apartheid government do? They classified Mapungubwe as a state secret. I'm not exaggerating. They literally made it illegal to talk about Mapungubwe. The golden rhino was locked in a vault. Researchers were silenced. The site was restricted. For decades, South African school children weren't taught that their ancestors built kingdoms. Instead, teachers instructed them that Europeans brought civilization in 1652. The evidence sat in storage hidden, suppressed, erased. People did not finally acknowledge Mapungubwe until 1994, when apartheid ended. And even then, it took until 2003 for it to become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's 71 years after discovery, before the world officially recognized it. Today, Mapungubwe is undeniable. People protect the hilltop site. The golden rhino is in a museum. Archaeologists continue to excavate, and what they're finding blows the mind. Social stratification, kings lived on the hill, commoners below. That's a complex political organization. Trade networks, goods from 5,000 plus miles away. That's international commerce. Metalworking, gold and iron working at an industrial scale. Agriculture, terrace farming, cattle domestication. Food surplus succession systems, Royal burials show hereditary kingship. This wasn't a village. This was a kingdom, and it predates Great Zimbabwe by 200 years. Mapungubwe was the blueprint for Southern African civilization. Yet 99% of people have never heard of it, because acknowledging it means acknowledging that apartheid's foundational lie, that black South Africans had no history, was always false. The Kingdom of Mapungubwe proves several things. 1. Southern Africa had sophisticated kingdoms centuries before European contact. Point 2. Black Africans engaged in international trade with Asia 800 years ago. 3. African craftsmanship rivaled anything produced elsewhere in the medieval world. 4. Colonial and apartheid governments actively suppressed this evidence. The golden rhino sits in a museum today, but millions of South Africans still don't know their ancestors built this, because the education system, even post-apartheid, barely teaches it. That's the legacy of erasure. Even when you end the system, the lies persist, but the evidence is there. The hilltop is there, the gold is there, and now, you know. The Kingdom of Mapungubwe ruled Southern Africa for 400 years. They traded gold with China and India while Europe was in the Dark Ages. They created art so sophisticated that it studied worldwide, and apartheid South Africa hid it for 62 years because the truth threatened their entire ideology. But they couldn't hide it forever. The golden rhino still shines. The hilltop still stands. The evidence is undeniable. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button. Subscribe to Sky Chief Zim. Every week, we expose the history they tried to bury. Drop a comment. Which Southern African kingdom should we cover next? Historians erased the Kingdom of Mapungubwe from textbooks. Let's make sure it's never forgotten again. I'm Sky Chief Zim. Stay woke to the actual history. Think about that.